Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of The Long Dark. Now, I'm going to start off a story of what I just went through right now. So if you haven't watched the last episode, I really suggest you go back and watch it. So, I'm in Billings, and they just told me that it was a antifreeze radiator cap that was wrong with a leak. Now, granted, at this point in time, I probably blew through about 10 gallons of antifreeze. Okay, 10 gallons of antifreeze.
Gear.
And I know it's not the radiator cap. I know it's not the hoses because I did a pre-trip and post-trip. It's none of this. And I go, it's got to be something else. So here we are in Billings, Montana, trying to tell people that is not listening what it can do. So basically, what we done was he goes, "Oh well, this is what it is." Da 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 da. I said, "Whatever." Do I have one of these? Apparently, I don't, and I don't know where or why I left it. But anyway, I think today we are going to head. We need to find a deer hide. One more deer hide, and then we can have our pants. So that's what we're going to do. But anyway, so I was told to, take off. And by this time, my company, they swap loads on me. So I'm not going to Darien, Wisconsin anymore. I'm going to Burley, Idaho. I said, okay, whatever. We can do this. You know what? Why am I carrying so much weight? There's no reason for me to carry all this weight. It's been a while, guys. It's been a while. But anyway, so I head out, and I made it all the way to Butte, Montana. And my low coolant light comes on. But I'm not worried about it. I mean, I am. And I got pretty ticked off. But I get out. I don't need to carry all this meat either. So I take it out. Let's stop this too. And basically what we did, we can't put it in there, okay, but we can put it in here. So I get out and I look, at the antifreeze level, and it's fine. I released the pressure on it. It went back up to where it should be. I was like, well, I don't have a leak or nothing, whatever. So I go up the Butte Pass. I don't really know the name of it. I just call it Butte Pass. And Butte, Montana, by the way. And I stop here at this Pilot Flying J there in Butte. And I take my 30-minute break. Everything's fine. There's no leaks. The coolant's back up to where, where it belongs. I'm like, okay, well, this is kind of weird because I've went 245 miles at this point. I'm like, well, if nothing's wrong with it, then, can't fill it up or nothing. Because if you fill it up too much, then you will, it'll, like, the pressure valve will blow it out and whatnot. I was like, well, I don't want that to happen. So basically, I take off, and I'm headed southbound on Ive-15 at this point. And I pull over at this parking area at Red Canyon, Red Rock, something or other, rest area, and pop open the hood, and there's literally coolant everywhere. And when I mean everywhere, there's a lot of people like to, construed stories. No, I mean, it was everywhere. It was all over the engine, all over the side of the truck, all over the trailer, down underneath the truck, puddling up. There's like 2 or 3 puddles underneath the truck, about 6 inches wide. Antifreeze was everywhere. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. I close the hood and I get in the truck and go to bed. Because, they didn't care. Nobody cared. So I'm I slept in the truck. I woke up the next morning and I checked it again, and it stopped dripping, which is good. And so I get up, check everything like I just said, and then I get back in the truck, and I texted OTRS, which is over the road support for my company, and they go, well, there's a Freightliner shop in Idaho Falls, which was 118 miles away. He goes, do you think you can make it? I said, probably not, but I'll try. That scared the blue blazing hell out of me. I only have one bullet. Let's try to, I want to get to that house. Oh, and I missed anyway. Looky there. There we go. So anyway, I'd take off, out of this rest area, which I knew I wasn't going to make it far, but because these people haven't listened to me before, they're not going to listen to me now. So I just take off, and I made it 19 miles before the truck blew up yet again. And when I mean blow up, okay, I don't mean like, the heat gauge went back up to 250 and literally said, okay, I'm going to die. That's what the truck said. It said, I'm done. And, there's a little poof underneath the truck. And that's where she sat. Like, I pushed the engine override button to get down to Lima, Montana. And that's where I sat. I did not go any further. I sat there. And so I called OTRS. Now, remember, this is 19 miles down the road. So here I am in the middle of nowhere again, stranded again. And I called, my company, and they said, okay, well, I'll get you a tow truck. Well, in Montana, you have to separate the truck and the trailer to tow them. So now my company is stuck with 2 tow bills, and one of them, the first one was $185 an hour for 2 trucks. So 185 times 2 per hour. And then the second time I got towed, it was $250 an hour, so $500 an hour times 2, right? 250, 500 per hour, because they wouldn't listen to me. Now, okay, so here. So they take me down to Idaho Falls, and I said, okay, great, another shop, right? Well, they looked at me and they said, well, there's no way I'm going to get it in today, so go find yourself a hotel. So I stayed at the Best Western there in Idaho Falls. Very, very good place. I mean, comfy beds, so on and so forth. And, I like to tour the hotels, 2 weeks. Okay, let's just say this. 2 weeks I've had this truck. It has been towed twice. It has been in the shop 7 times. I've been in 7 different shops in 2 weeks. I have, and stuff like this. And it's like, you've got to be kidding me. I'm actually going to make a fire right quick. There we go. 70%, 85%. Let's do this. But anyway, so I've poured about 10 gallons of antifreeze in this truck, and it's losing it. No one can tell me why I'm losing this antifreeze. It's just disappearing. And so I just turn my truck in. I go to the hotel, and I call them the next morning and said, hey, any news on the truck? Well. And he goes, honestly, I have no idea what's going on with it. So they put the truck on the diagnostic. And he goes, a little bit later, he goes, you know what? Come on in, and I'll show you what we found. So I come in later that day. It was probably about, I'd say about 10:30 in the morning Mountain Time. And I get there, and he shows me this video. And sadly, I didn't ask him if he could send it to me, or else I would show you what was happening. But basically what was happening was they disconnected the EGR valve, that hose that goes into it, and they just laid it over the bumper of the truck. Well, they put the pressure on it like it was climbing up a hill with a fully loaded trailer. And basically what happened was it was so much pressure, so much force, that antifreeze was blowing everywhere. And like when I mean everywhere, I meant everywhere. And so he goes, I found your problem. It's an EGR valve. I was like, okay. And he goes, you're going to need another hotel. I said, okay, whatever. So we went back to the Best Western. And, you know, I was like, yay, another hotel. Whee! And, so we go back to this hotel. It's not terrible. I mean, it works. It's a bed, right? And, we're going along, and the next day we come back, and you son of a bitch. Okay, anyway, that was much better than I anticipated. But anyway, so we go to this hotel, and everything's fine. And then soon enough, we go the next day, we go back in, and he goes, okay, well, at the end of the day, by the end of the day, we'll have you a new EGR valve. He goes, did your company ever call you about getting a new truck? I said, no. And he said, well, you'll be getting a new truck. And they never told me why exactly, right? So my family, I have a CDL, of course. My dad and my grandma both have CDLs, and we were basically thinking it's a cracked head gasket. It has something to do with the inside of this motor. Well, no one would believe me, and so basically what we done was we just said, screw it. Whatever happens, happens. And let's just say I finally blew this truck up. And what I mean by that is I called my DM, so my driver manager, and I said, hey, do we have any idea what's going on? And he goes, well, we're gonna ship you back to Salem, Oregon, and you're gonna get a new truck. I said, well, what's wrong with the truck I have now? Now, before I tell you what's wrong with this truck, I'm pretty sure you guys already have an inkling of what it is, especially you truck drivers in the bunch. And he goes, well, you have a cracked head, and the EGR valve is going out. I said, are you kidding me? He goes, no. He goes, so I'm gonna get you and your rider to back to Salem, and you're gonna get a new truck. I said, okay, whatever. I said, what about my stuff in the truck? He goes, well, we're gonna get you a trip back to Salem. I was like, I don't care about going back to Salem. I care about getting my stuff, because I probably have easily $2,000 worth of stuff in that truck, within food, like the fridge, microwave, stuff like that. It's up to about $2,000. And he's like, oh, well, don't worry about that. We'll once you get a truck, we'll reroute you to Idaho Falls and stuff like that. And I said, no, that's not what's going to happen here. So he goes, well, we'll talk about it in the morning. I got to go home. I said, okay, well, whatever. Be a dick. And so basically what happened was the next morning, he calls me up, and he goes, okay, so this is what's going to happen. I'm going to get you a bus ticket, and you're going to have to figure out how to get your rider home. And I said, well, wait a minute. I said, how the hell is that supposed to happen when you said that I was going to get back home, and you were going to figure out a way for me and my rider to get home? And he goes, oh, well, I can only get one of you home. I said, no, that's not what you said. And he goes, well, that's what's going to have to happen. I said, well, what about my stuff? Oh, well, we'll get you a new truck and route you back over there. And I said, okay, this isn't going to happen. At this point, you guys didn't listen to me for 2 weeks. I said, this isn't going to happen. I said, is there any way I can get a rent-a-car and, you guys reimburse me or whatever? And he goes, yeah, we could probably do that. I was like, okay, cool. So I start calling, budget, enterprise, so on and so forth. And then I get a call back, and he goes, well, have you found a car yet? And I said, yeah, I found a few. And he goes, well, I can't necessarily give you the full refund from a rent-a-car. And I said, well, what do you mean? He goes, well, I can reimburse you up to how much a bus ticket would cost. And I said, well, how much does a bus ticket cost? He goes, oh, the bus ticket's going to cost $214. I said, you do realize, that a bus or a rent-a-car costs way more than $214, right? And he goes, yeah, I understand that. And I said, so my company won't, reimburse me? And he goes, oh, no, only up to the amount of the bus ticket. I was like, you know what, whatever. So I get this. So I call Budget. It's the cheapest one there, and for what we needed, I needed like an SUV slash van to get all my stuff out. And so basically, we got this Ford Flex. I didn't choose it; they did. Whatever. I didn't talk to the lady. Kim did, and I was like, well, whatever, it works. So I get this at like 10:40. I throw all my stuff in, and then I haul ass home. Now, from Salem, Idaho Falls is 753 miles away. Now, we made it in one night. We left around 11 o'clock Mountain Time. Actually, no. 11 o'clock Pacific Time, and we made it home at 11:50 Pacific Time that night. And I was exhausted, right? I mean, so we get this new truck, and we show up. And behind the hood and in front of the door, there's a little piece of, plastic probably, that has like the Cascadia on it and stuff like that. And it's missing. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? So I was told that I could put my stuff in there. So I talked to the night dispatch and all them, and they were like, oh yeah, well, it's got to get detailed. Da 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 da. I said, well, I was told that I can put my stuff in there. He goes, who said that? And I said, my DM. He goes, oh, no, you can't put your stuff in there. I'm like, then what the hell am I supposed to do with this car? He goes, well, it says here that you wanted home time. I said, yeah. And he goes, well, go home. And I said, no, I can't because I have to return my car by 10:40 tomorrow morning. And he goes, well, I don't know what to do then. I was like, well, can I put my stuff in the truck and then go home? He goes, yeah, sure, whatever. So they get me another hotel because this truck didn't even have a bottom bunk bed. Right, so I was like, are you kidding me? And so I go to the hotel, and basically my grandparents come get me, and so now I'm home. And that's been my 2 weeks. Normally I can make it 540 miles a day in 8 hours. Basically that's what I do because that's how May schedules their loads and stuff, And I'm like, whatever. So basically I went 1,800 miles in 2 weeks. Because this truck didn't want to run. But, yeah, anyway. So if you guys want to leave a comment down below and tell me, tell me what you would have done in this situation. So if a company tells you that, basically you're just a dumbass truck driver and you don't know anything, what would you do? And, how would you get home? Would you have took the bus and, and get routed back to Idaho Falls, which is 753 miles away, which would have took 2 days to get there? Or would you have did what I did and get the car, rent a car? Tell me what you would have done. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like and comment down below. And again, tell me everything. What I just asked you. Tell me what you would do, and I will see you in the next one. In the next episode, most likely I'm going to fast forward until this hide is cured, and probably these are cured, and probably next episode it's going to be nothing but building the wolfskin coat and pants, because we need some pants. I'm not real worried about my boots, because they're not the greatest boots in the world, but they work. So the next episode, we were waiting for these pelts to get cured, and and then we'll be working there. Hopefully I have enough sewing kits. I got 2, and I think I got 3 more up here, because we need to get out of here, and we need to go find ammo and a revolver. Really need a revolver too. Yeah, so we got 2 more. So basically that's what's going to happen. Like I said again, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like, comment down below, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.